Hello and welcome back. Today what we've got here is we've got a throttle body off of a 1992 Suzuki Samurai, and I picked this up at a junkyard, and what we're going to be using is my throttle body on mine Samurai. The fuel injector is bad on it. And a lot of people don't know this, and that's why they typically switch these out with the Weber carburetor, but they can't get these injectors out. And I've heard this numerous times and everything. So as you see here, there's two flat or Phillips head screws, and we're just going to take those out here. And this is the disassembly part of this. And you can do this in the vehicle. You do not have to take this out, this whole throttle body out, to do this. This is a little plastic cap that comes off of here, and you may notice it's kind of a D shape, and we'll come back to that later. You're going to have two little wires here and a notch that comes out. You got to pull that out, and then you'll be able to pull this injector. Now, this one's a little stuck. There it is. There it comes. You're going to take this hose loose here. It's a vacuum hose, so you're not going to have any fuel or anything come out. And on the same connector, you're going to have your throttle position sensor. Two Phillips head screws or 10mm bolts. But they'll have a Phillips head on the end of it too. And then there you go. You got your injector and throttle body or throttle position sensor taken out, and that's all you need to change your fuel injector. Now, putting this back together, I'm just going to go ahead and just slap this back together. You have two little ears in this throttle position sensor, and this is a spring-loaded throttle position sensor. So whenever you get that stuck down on there, you may notice it kind of don't want to fit real good. That's okay though. Just kind of cock it to the side there like that. It should go on, and twist it a little bit. Now these holes are oblong, and that's kind of tuning it a little bit. You may think of the carburetor as a kind of tuning. You'll have to adjust this to where you deem fit on the. I typically put mine about halfway, or if for some reason if I just use the injector part, it's only two wires, and I just wire them into my harness. I'll turn this to where the dirt marks are on it, because I don't know about you all, but my engine is just covered in mud, and that's why I have to change these injectors, because sometimes I get in a sticky situation and just get a bunch of water down inside my engine, and yes, it's terrible. But so make sure whenever you do this, you get this little rubber grommet stuck down in that groove, and make sure these wires are stuck down in these grooves here. Now you may notice on the top of the injector, it's a D shape. That's where this comes into play at. It will only go on one way. You're going to slide that back over like that. Make sure it kind of fits, kind of snug. We need to shove it down a little bit more. There, that's bottomed out now. We're going to stick those two screws in there, and I can't stress this enough. When you do this, if you're doing it on the vehicle, and I've done it on the vehicle plenty of times, don't crank down on these two screws right here. Keep in mind this is plastic, and it will break, especially when they're old and fragile. But also, these screws, stick a rag or something down in here, so that way if you do drop the screws, it won't drop down into your engine. because I've had that happen before too, and then you just go fishing inside your engine bay there. Make sure whenever you get this on there, if you do replace the whole thing, put these wires kind of under this little cavity here. Make sure they're out of the way, all your hoses and stuff, and just do like that right there, and you should be good to go.